Coming up on the evening report, sub-zero temperatures take a deadly turn. Plus, North Dakota's newest residents will show you 2 New Year's babies. But first, a massive fire tears through Grant County. Residents this morning picking up the pieces.
Good evening, I'm Molly Martinez. A massive fire rips through Grant County, destroying a local business. According to the Sheriff's Department, the fire broke out around 7:30 last night at Dakota Farm Equipment. Fire crews from Elgin and Leipzig and Carson rushed to the scene. Investigators spent today combing through the scene looking for any clues as to what may have started the blaze. No injuries were reported and no other buildings were affected. They say the sub-zero temperatures were a factor in fighting the fire. Let's send it now over to meteorologist Emily Hillman for more on this Arctic blast.
All right, well, today we didn't even see temperatures get out of the sub-zero.
Thank you, Emily. Well, it's been a full year since Governor Doug Burgum took office, and since his first day, he's had a lot on his plate. Whether it's dealing with the end of the pipeline protest or tightening the state's budget, some lawmakers say Burgum is doing rather well.
Always refreshing when someone can bring results-oriented projects to government. And he's certainly kept his door open for both Republicans and Democrats alike to come in and share their insight. Something I certainly appreciated and look forward to continuing that working relationship into the new year.
Burgum will deliver his State of the State address on January 23rd. Speaking of last year, many farmers and ranchers were able to squeeze by despite a crippling statewide drought. But will 2018 provide relief? Reporter Andrew Horn joins us now to explain. Thank you, Andrew. 2017 was a good year for folks in Grant County, North Dakota, who like to eat out. Their restaurant options doubled in the past year. The Let's Eat Cafe is now one of only 2 diners in the county. Cliff Naylor reports. Well, Bismarck's first baby of 2018 arrived at 5:33 this morning. Gina Schubert gave birth to a healthy daughter named Lola Diana. Lola is 20 inches long and was 7 pounds, 1 ounce. Gina went into Sanford Hospital in Bismarck yesterday after shopping for a few last-minute baby items. Gina's mom visited her newest granddaughter in the hospital and was in for a nice surprise.
Well, he picked the
I
name.
picked Lola, and then we debated on the middle name.
And then the middle name was my mom's name, but we waited for a surprise for her.
That is quite a head of hair on that baby. Gina says she is expecting to be discharged tomorrow so Lola can meet her sister and 2 brothers. Another baby was born, also at Stanford, within minutes of Lola. Well, Minot said hello to their first newborn of 2018 early this morning. Bryn Burdell Barstadt became Minot's first baby just before the clock struck 5 this morning. The parents, Lauren Leidold and Taylor Barstad, were expecting Bryn a week later than New Year's, but their anxious baby had other plans.
I think that it's definitely meant to be that she came right away at the beginning of the year. It's going to be a good year.
The family says her middle name, Burdell, was inspired by Lauren's grandfather. She always wanted to be able to call her little girl Bert. What happens a lot this time of year? You go out and you try and start your car in the morning and the battery is dead. The staff at O'Reilly Auto Parts in Bismarck says the sales have spiked for car batteries, fuel additives, and anything else people need to keep going in winter, which comes in handy for a lot of people around these parts.
I came up here from Florida some years back, so I never had those kind of issues, but here in Bismarck, I've definitely had some issues like that, and thankfully I've had some help. So.
O'Reilly says it's selling about 10 batteries on a slow day and maybe 20 or 30 batteries on cold days like today. Speaking of the cold, some very brave souls took the polar bear plunge this morning in Boston. These cold-blooded swimmers leapt into the harbor around 9 this morning. The event has taken place for more than 100 years. Boston is the oldest polar bear club in America. And they tried to do the same thing on Lake Erie, but the whole thing was frozen solid. Crews were unable to cut a hole in the ice, much to the chagrin or relief of participants. It's unknown if the event will be rescheduled. Welcome back. Officials are identifying 9 American victims in yesterday's plane crash in Costa Rica. 12 people total were killed. That includes 2 crew members and 10 Americans. The 9 identified were a part of 2 families from Florida and New York. Friends say the families were in Costa Rica on vacation. Costa Rican officials released this video of the fiery crash. The plane went down yesterday in a wooded area near the Pacific coast. The cause of that crash is under investigation. An Amber Alert has been issued for 2 missing Texas girls in relation to a suspicious death. Police are searching for 14-year-old Lanias Griffin and 7-year-old Lula Violet Branda Margaret. They're also looking for 44-year-old Terry Miles. Police say he is connected to the girl's abduction. The search started Sunday when police were conducting a welfare check and discovered the woman's body. Investigators say Miles is a suspect in her murder. They say Miles may be headed to Louisiana. A woman is in critical condition after divers pulled her out of a fully submerged vehicle in a frozen Indianapolis pond New Year's Eve. Just before 8:30 last night, the woman called 911 from inside her vehicle. Officials said the vehicle was 90% submerged when the crews arrived. Drivers were able to pull her from the vehicle and medics took her to the hospital. Tire tracks show the woman drove approximately 150 yards across the pond before breaking through the ice. Bone-chilling temperatures throughout the country are taking a deadly toll. Authorities in Detroit say a man was found dead sitting outside a church early this morning. A medical unit responded and the man was pronounced dead on the scene. It's believed he may have frozen to death as temperatures dropped below freezing overnight. Let's take it over to Emily Hillman now. Emily, these temperatures are getting more and more dangerous.
Luckily for us,
Welcome back. Well, with the new year comes some pretty impressive new firework technology. Check it out. What you're seeing is a mortar weighing in at 1.1 ton. This is in the United Arab Emirates. Guinness World Records were on hand to measure the explosion. The massive shell was handcrafted over the course of 2 months at a Long Island family-run shop called Fireworks by Grucci. With this beauty, they now hold the world record for world's largest firework. All right, let's get another check on weather with meteorologist Emily Hillman.
All right, well, we are looking at those cooler temperatures sticking around tonight. Wind chill advisory in effect through the night into tomorrow morning. It will actually expire a little bit earlier towards the western portion of the region. So what you can expect with these wind chills is wind chills getting down to about 35 below zero in some areas. Now for tomorrow, we will be warming up into the positive digits, actually double digits above zero. However, we will be expecting some breezy conditions. So it won't exactly feel like this, but at least the temperature will read positive numbers. Mostly cloudy or partly cloudy skies across the region as well. And then this week we will be warming up as well. We'll be dealing with mostly above zero temperatures this week.
Okay, well, thank you for spending your New Year's Day with us, and we'll see you at 10.